Hello, dear children. It is great to be back to you all like this. I hope you are all going good. But yes, distance makes the hearts grow fonder. So I am missing you. IGA is missing you. We all want you to be back. Fill us with your naughtiness, with your joy and laughter. But I do not know when the day is going to be. I hope and pray that the day is very soon and we are going to be back to normal life once again. And so let us start off with the first lesson, right? The Portrait of a Lady by Soma Sen. Now this is actually a story about the natural emotion, about the natural bonding that is always there and that is always going to be, that will always be between grandparents and grandchildren. Children, we are actually in that kind of life where we are isolated from the pillars of the family. Grandparents are the pillars of our family. Many of the families are isolated from this blessing. So in that case, Soma Sen introduces us. He relives his own life story. He introduces us to his feelings for his grandmother, and we are going to travel with him a flashback to his life when he was young, how he had spent his time with his grandmother, and at the time of attending school when he was in the city, and later on when he was in the university, and further on when he had left abroad for higher studies. So let us travel slowly and enjoy the emotions that is full in the story. Right. The Portrait of a Lady describes a special bond between the grandparent and the grandchild, between the grandmother and the grandchild, and narrates how relationship develops over a period of time. Soma Sen, from a small child he grows up, and at the same time the grandmother also gets older. Right. The story throws light on the need of companionship. Children, we need company. We need the company of our parents and grandparents too. There is a very, very big need of this company because at the moment, all the emptiness that we are facing inside us some of the times, that emptiness will go if we are connected, if we are close to our grandparents. Because grandparents give us or shower us with their love all the time, which our own parents are sometimes incapable of. At the end of the day, when we meet our own parents, neither we nor them have that much of quality time or are in a position to spend that much of time with each other because we get tired. But come whatever may, the moment our grandparent hears the sound of our feet, the closeness of our selves, immediately the grandparent forgives and forgets that the whole day how she or he had spent without us. The grandparent forgets, opens his or her arms and welcomes us back in their arms. So it is a joy to travel back to the memories of our childhood that we had shared with our grandparents, and now I'm going to take you along. Please pay attention to the core sections of the story and do a good reading of the story so that you can immediately tag these core sections with the story. And if there are doubts, we are always there for each other, right? So there are three phases, of the author's relationship with the grandmother before he went abroad. What are the three phases? The first phase, when they were very good friends with each other. Grandmother and grandson were very, very good friends with each other. When the school time, when the child was being accompanied by his grandmother to school, then they used to feed the dogs on the street. They used to really go about their way very, very slowly, enjoying each step with each other as they walked towards the school. Then it so happened, the father wrote a letter asking the family, asking the grandmother and the son to join them in the city. When they joined the parents in the city, then the child had to be put in a school. When the child was put in a school, that time it was a city school, and the grandmother did not have to accompany the child to the school. The school bus was there to take the child to the school. As the child was traveling by the school bus to the school, the grandmother slowly fell apart. In the sense, the grandmother's company was not needed anymore. And slowly there was a gap that developed secretly between the child and his grandmother. When he went to school, this is the second phase. The first phase was in the village when he and his grandmother used to go to school walking side by side, enjoying each other's company. And the second stage was in the school. That time the relationship saw a small crack. Because he used to travel to the school by the school bus, and grandmother used to be back at home. Then the third stage comes now when the child was sent to the university. He went abroad. Before that, the child was sent to the university, and when he was in the university, he got a separate room for himself to continue with his studies in a proper way, in a serious way. When the child was in his room and the grandmother in her room, they forgot sharing each other's company, saw less of each other. But the grandmother never complained. The grandmother took it all so lovingly, forgive and forget for the sake of the child. Forgive and forget. So the author never knew what kind of pain the grandmother was going through at that time. I am taking you to the next step, the 3 ways in which the grandmother spent her days after the author grew up. Now this is the stage I am going to discuss when the author had grown up and he had left her back at home, because that time it was not possible for the grandmother to accompany him every time. So there are 3 ways during this time by which the grandmother used to spend her time. The author used to go to school. The author used to go to university. What were the ways by which the grandmother used to spend the whole day? She used to spend the whole day spinning the wheel. Okay, spinning and on the yarn, spinning the yarn and taking care of her emotions. She never used to complain. She never had a single word of complaint. She took care of her emotions in her own matured way, in her selfless, loving, caring way. Okay, she continued. This is the first way she used to spend her time. Second way, she used to continue with her praying. She used to be very much fond of praying, and she used to continue telling the beads. Telling the beads means counting the beads. She used to count the beads and she used to continue praying as long as possible, as long as her mind and soul would allow. The third way in which she used to spend her time while her grandchild was away was she used to feed the birds in the evening. And that was the happiest hour of her day, when the sparrows used to come to her looking for her company. And she became so bonded with the sparrows. We find the sparrows lovingly very close to her when she was no more. I am coming to that. But before that, these are the 3 ways. First way was spinning the wheel. The second way was praying. And the third way was that she used to feed the sparrows, which was the happiest hour of her day. And moving on to the next topic, like the odd way in which she behaved before her death. She had a kind of premonition. She had a kind of hint that she will be very soon no more. So due to that, suddenly one fine morning, she stopped praying. That time, her grandson was not with her. He was out of the country. He was abroad. Now, the news had reached her that her grandson would be coming back. So she was so excited to welcome her grandson back that she had stopped praying, getting some minor hint, some kind of premonition, some kind of feeling that she would be no more. And maybe that feeling became so strong that she had stopped praying. When she stopped praying, she got an old drum. After getting the drum, she started playing the drum and dancing with all the neighborhood women. She danced and danced and danced away to glory, happy with the news that her grandson is coming back. And then the family had to persuade her, had to make her understand that this is not going to be the right action right now, because her health will not support that kind of continuous dancing, continuous activity. Her health will not support. But she didn't pay attention. The next day, when she was not feeling well, she asked everybody not to disturb her. She just lied down on her bed. And we find that as she was counting the beads and nobody disturbed her, after some time, while counting the beads, she passes away. We find her like that. And at the end also we find that emotions are not only real, true for human beings. Emotions are also very much true for animals and for others. And so, the birdies, the sparrows, they come, they sit on her body, but they do not chirrup. They do not make a single tweeting sound. They are just sitting there, enjoying her company, giving her the physical support before the corpse, before the body would be taken away. The last moment between the grandmother and the sparrows has been so emotionally put forward that we feel that birdies, animals, nature, these are very connected with us. If we love them, they are surely going to love us back. Right? The sparrows do not chirrup. The sparrows do not eat anything. Whatever breadcrumbs were offered to them, the sparrows do not eat. And they wait till the final hour when the body was removed. After that, they slowly fly away. That is the end of the story. I am going to carry on with the rest of our discussions in my next lecture. Assignment will be uploaded. Please solve. If you have any doubts, we can again connect, discuss. On my personal number, you can put forward your doubts, or on the group. I would prefer your doubts to be cleared personally. So please put forward your doubts on my personal number and share a feedback. If you have any doubts or the clarity of understanding, please share a feedback as you upload the assignment. Right? God bless you. Take care of yourselves.